Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am camping up in the mountains. It's a beautiful day, but it was a little bit of a drive to get here. As you can see, my car is super dusty. It was a little bit of off-roading, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But I wanted to talk a little bit about off-roading with a minivan. We all know, no, you are not supposed to off-road with a minivan, but you're probably going to do it, aren't you? And so, what are some things you should be thinking about? I'm not an expert by any means, but here are some things that I've come up with to see if I can keep myself out of trouble. So there's a couple concerns with your vehicle when you're out in the woods. One is getting stuck, two is breaking down, and three, what's the third one? And three is maybe your battery going dead. Make sure you stay to the end of the video because this is probably the most important thing you need to know. So those are three things that I want to see if I can address in this video. Your first line of defense is your tires. One of the best things I did for off-roading was to upgrade my tires. Let me show you what kind of tires I have. So these are Falcon Wild Peak A/T Trail. They have been awesome. A lot of pickup trucks use these tires, and especially since the van is two-wheel drive only, you really need a lot of traction on those front tires. And this has made such a big difference. One of the things they say you should do when you're on a dirt road is lower the tire pressure. That way your tires are a little bit softer, they go over the rocks more easily, and it doesn't rattle your van as much, you have more traction, that sort of thing. Normally my tires should be at 36 psi, so I think I'll probably take them down just a little bit, maybe to like 30, maybe 3 or 2. This road is really rocky, and I know I need as much clearance as I can get, so I don't want to take them down too low. And that's 36 cold, and they're really hot right now, so we're about 38 now. Maybe 35. Maybe I'll go to 34. It's a little disconcerting letting the air out of your tires, so hopefully it'll be worth it. So if you've never driven on a rough road before, you always kind of want to find the path of least resistance. If you can kind of visualize where your tires are, maybe it's common sense, I don't know. I grew up in the country, so. But I know some city people that have never driven on a dirt road. Just think you have to stay in your lane and, you know. Oh, this is a little rough. I'm just gonna clear that away. You're just trying to avoid all the holes and bumps as much as possible. Going on the side of the road. I've even, on a really rutted road where I was scared the van would be scraping in the middle, I've even driven kind of on the side and like sort of scratched up the side of the vehicle with bushes, but that's better than getting high centered. All right, let me build up some speed here. Oh, come on, man. Doing good. All right. Yeah, I think this is the spot where I hit the rock last time. Oh, no, this is the spot. Oh, gosh. Oh, the tires are spinning. Come on. Oh, she's climbing though. Oh, I think letting out the air was a good idea. Whew. So that was rough, but it was still better than it was last summer. She made it though. Oh, there's a big cloud of dust behind me where my tires spun. Oh. Ah. Oof, that hurt. Oh. Made it. Doing good, minivan. I need a name for her. I made it. No scrapies. Didn't get stuck. No big mud washes to go through. And I didn't hit any rocks. So, all right. The van has very minimal clearance, and I'm always scared of getting high-centered or scraping, stuff like that. But here are some things that I got just in case I get stuck. I'll show you where I keep them. This is where I stash all my stuff in the van. All right, but over here is the spare tire, which also, side note, you know, if there's any way you can have a spare tire, it's really great. This is also a compressor. But this, stashed up in here, are called track grabbers. I'm going to show you about those. We'll put these down here for now. And the second thing I have up here is a little shovel. And it also has a little bag that its handle goes in. So those are three things I store in my little compartment here. But if you've got a spare tire, open it up and check it out. Take a look and see what you've got in here. Okay, so this little shovel is pretty cool. It can be used as a shovel like this, or it can also be used as a pickaxe. So I've never had to use this, but how I might use it, if I get high centered on a little hump, you know, going into a little campsite where the road has graded and there's that little hump of dirt that you've got to go over, I'm always scared of getting high centered on that. So if I did, I would reach underneath and try to clear out dirt underneath the car. Maybe use this pickaxe. If I got stuck on a rock or something, I could try to pry the rock out. It also has just a little bit longer handle. Like that. And the blade here is sort of serrated. So if you had to kind of saw away at something, that would work. And I've tried it at home with this like really hard soil that we have, and it did great. So it's a lot stronger than it looks. And you know what? I'm going to keep this set up because I need to dump my gray water. And I don't just want to dump it on the ground. I want to dig a hole and dump it in there and bury it. That way animals aren't attracted to it. It's not disrupting the ecosystem as much as it would be if I just dumped it in the ground. So that's another use for a good shovel. You can dig a bigger hole. Okay, then this thing. This is really cool, guys. They're called track grabbers. So imagine you're driving and your wheels are spinning. You're maybe in mud, or it's just a steep hill and you're just spinning in the dirt. Maybe you're spinning in snow. Anytime, if you've got two-wheel drive, anytime one tire starts to spin, you're done for, right? You only have two tires pulling you anyway. So once one goes, you're not going to move anymore. So these little things, let me show you how it works. All right, so say this is my tire that's spinning. You take this little, it's a rubber block. So the idea of this is it's going to attach to your tire and it's going to give you some traction as your tire goes around and spins. Now, I don't know, this works with a Pacifica. I don't know if it's going to work with your vehicle, but you want to make sure that you've got clearance all the way around your tire and it's not going to like mess your car up. So I have total clearance with this. Even when I turn the wheels, I've tested it. So now I'm going to thread this through the wheel like that. And I'm going to make sure that it's not where my spoke is, where my air valve is. So now I'm going to tighten this up. I want to get it as tight as possible. And centered on the tire. So I'm going to tuck that up in there. All right, so now I'm going to drive and you watch and see what it does. So I don't know if you can tell, but if your tire's spinning, imagine your tire's going really fast, it's going to hit this rubber thing and grab onto it. So it might just grab onto it, spin again and grab onto it. But it's a way to increase your traction a little bit when you only have two-wheel drive. So here's another thing I carry with me, and these are snow socks. So it's an alternative to snow tires. So how it works is it goes over the tire just like a sock. Then once you've got it on that far, you pull forward a little bit. And on she goes. So this has pretty good reviews on Amazon and it's meant for snow. But you know, if I got someplace that was kind of flooded and really slippery mud, and you know, before I got into it and got stuck, you know, you could always try these in an emergency if you need some more traction. So you want to make sure you get the right size. For the Pacifica, it's the 697. So those are my things for getting stuck. I also want to look into bringing a tow strap, but I need to do more research on where exactly the Pacifica can be towed from, because I want to make sure I know how to use it so that, you know, somebody else doesn't mess my car up. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about vehicle maintenance. Kind of the first thing you want to have in your kit is a tire gauge. This is a monkey grip, and it's nice because you can just push it with your palm and see it right in there. My Pacifica has tire monitors on the dash, so I can always see what each tire is, which is cool. But this is useful when you're deflating the tires for going on the road. And I also have this toolkit with me. So I put some leather gloves in here. You never know when that'll come in handy. It has a wire stripper. It's got some electrical tape. It's got some electrical terminals, a ratchet, wrench, wire brush. This is nice for, like, you know, if you need to scrub off some corrosion off your battery or something. Lots of different socket tips, a whole bunch of screw tips, lots of wrenches, some screwdrivers, needle nose pliers, and these sorts of pliers. I don't know what they're called. The type that cut. So it's very versatile. The only thing this toolbox doesn't have is Allen keys. So I have this little thing here, or a folding hex key, I guess. So this is SAE, and this is metric. So I just keep these things in my jockey box. I don't know, do you guys call it a jockey box? That's what my family calls it. The glove compartment? Let me know in the comments. What do you call the thing in the front, the little cabinet in the front that opens up? My family's always called it a jockey box. Jumping your battery. This is probably the most important thing you can be prepared for, because it's probably the most likely thing that could happen. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want to go around seeing if I can find a stranger to help me jump my car. I want to be prepared to do it myself. So, this is a portable jump starter. You don't have to ask anybody to help you. You don't have to have another car. This is a battery that will jump your car if your battery is dead. So why do I think your battery going dead could happen pretty easily to you? Well, I'll show you. It's really easy to do when you're camping. Most cars nowadays have alarms when you leave your lights on, but in the Pacifica, and probably in your vehicle too, you have these lights here that come on when you open the door. For the Pacifica, when you're camping, you want to make sure they're both turned all the way down. That way, when you open the door, your dome lights are not coming on and draining your battery. And it's surprisingly easy to do, especially when in the middle of the day you don't notice that your dome light has been on. You have your sliding doors open and your battery is draining. So, if that happens to you, you have a backup plan. So how do you actually use this charger? So it comes with a battery and jumper cables. So you want to make sure the battery is charged up before you go, before you leave. And it's going to show you a green light if it's all the way charged. This cable is going to plug into here. If you don't know how to open your hood, watch some YouTube videos on your particular vehicle. And under here, here is my battery. So this is the negative terminal, this is black, and this is the positive terminal here, which is red. So with jumper cables, you want to make sure that you are not touching them to each other. and the black is going to go on the negative terminal. And a lot of times you can just sort of get it anywhere on here that you can on any of these different nuts. Now I'm going to turn on the power. So if I'm connected correctly, the LEDs are going to be flashing and my white LED is going to be on now, showing me that it's ready to go ahead and start the car, and it's going to start from this. And once your car's running, then you're going to go backwards. So we did positive, negative. Now we're going to disconnect negative, positive. And there you go. No other person needed. You can jump your own battery. You can do it. And this also has some other features. It has a little light, which is helpful if you're trying to do this in the dark. And you can also charge some devices. It has a USB in and a USB out. So you could also charge this with your solar panels. And last but not least, this doesn't really count as car recovery equipment, but if you've exhausted all of your options, you might want to carry one of these. This is a DeLorme InReach, and it's a satellite communicator. This is kind of an old one. They have newer ones now, but basically you pay a monthly fee, and I pay for the version where you can turn it on and off when you're traveling, when you're not. But if you don't have cell phone service, you can contact friends and family with this. You can contact an SOS rescue team with this. You can text with it. It's really a pretty nice safety guard. Hopefully you won't need to use it. Hopefully you can bail yourself out. But just in case you can't, you want to make sure that you're staying safe. So here's the thing, guys. It's natural to be scared. It's natural to be wary of coming out by yourself. But if you can address some of those fears by having some things with you and having a little bit of a plan, it really makes you feel a lot safer. Like, I know, okay, if my tires start spinning, I've got a couple solutions for that. If I get high centered, I have a couple solutions for that. You know, I'm going to improve my tires so that I have less of a chance of spinning my tires. I've got my spare tire. I know how to use it. I've got a compressor. You're never going to alleviate your fear completely, but having a little bit of a plan really helps in making you more confident. So anyway, I hope this helps. If there's anything you carry that you think is really worthwhile, let me know in the comments. It'll be helpful for me and anyone else who's watching this video. So what do you carry to make sure that you're safe out here? All right, guys, click the green circle to subscribe, and I'll see you later.